Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the place to be. This is High Def Hoops. I am Memphis J. I'm going to be your captain as we take off this morning, afternoon, evening, wherever and whatever time it is, wherever you are. You tuned into the right place. This is High Def Hoops. We are part of the Sports Idiot Nation. This podcast, High Def Hoops, is brought to you by Tennessee Drone Company. More information about that at the end of the episode, but y'all stay tuned for that. We've got a new sponsor. So Tennessee Drone Company, thank you for stepping up.
Yeah!
Coming at you guys. We got a lot to talk about. The Grizzlies did lose to the Lakers in LA on Wednesday night. It is now Thursday night going into Friday morning when I'm recording this. The Dallas Mavericks lost to the Utah Jazz. Utah beat them 115-113 in Dallas, I'm pretty sure. We'll talk about that one. We're also going to be talking about the 2024 NBA Cup. But before we go any further, thank you for hooking up with this podcast wherever you're listening to it. I know a lot of y'all are out there are just overloaded and don't know. You want to get it all as fast as you can. So we're going to go down a quick rundown of the top stories in the NBA. We're not going to cover them really, really deep. We're just going to let you know a glance at what's going on in the NBA. This is the TLDR report. This is brand new today. So TLDR, Giannis Antetokounmpo, 59-point game, powers the Bucks past the Pistons in overtime. Bronny James is getting special treatment. He's only going to do G League games that are at home. Maybe that's so they can get him into more Lakers games, or maybe it's just to give him some more preferential treatment is what people are talking about. Y'all let us know in the comments what you think. Victor Wembanyama's hitting more historic performances. He posted a historic 50-point game, solidifying his position as one of the top players. Klay Thompson returned home and promptly lost to his former team, the Golden State Warriors. I feel remiss because I didn't put this at the top of the list of the TLDR.
What?
Donovan Mitchell and the Cavs are still undefeated, 13-0. This is straight up history happening for them, and it's a straight scoring spree at the end for them to pull out that 13th victory. So way to go, the Cavs. I really got to shout them out. Also, Joel Embiid has come back, but he is rusty. What was it, 2 of 11 in the Sixers game versus the Knicks? And also, we're sending shouts out to Greg Popovich, coach of the San Antonio Spurs. Suffered a mild stroke. That's super scary, and I'm really hate to hear that. This is news to me until I started reading this. So I kind of get scared when I hear stuff like that. So shouts to Pop and family. I hope everybody's okay, and I hope everything is okay with the Spurs team and everything. They're an awesome team. He's a great coach. Nothing more to say about that. I really hope he gets better soon. I'll let you know more information about that. So, this is a NBA podcast. We also cover a lot of the Grizzlies. So we are going to get into the Grizzlies. I do not really want to talk about the loss to Lakers. I'm not in, any problems with it. It was a good game. We were actually kind of close. I think a couple of decisions could have been done differently. Maybe a couple of players had been there. We definitely would have won that game. So I'm not too concerned about it. I probably will say something about it at the very end of the podcast, but I don't want to keep you waiting around. I think it's better to just look forward, and let's look at what's going to go on Friday night when the Grizzlies are taking on the Golden State Warriors. We will be on the big screen, I'm pretty sure. Not sure if I forget if it's on one of the big channels or not. I didn't look into that. But we will be in California at the Golden State's arena, I'm pretty sure. Let's just look at the numbers like we usually break it down. These teams are very evenly matched if you look at the points, rebounds, assists, and percentage. At points, 121, 47-48 on rebounds, 30. Some of these, they're like just a couple of tenths of a point away from each other. The Golden State Warriors are about 3 points higher on 3-point percentage. The Grizzlies are about 6-something points higher on overall free throw percentage. Maybe one more block, and the Grizzlies are averaging a few more turnovers. But they're a pretty evenly matched team on that. Also, points in the paint does favor Memphis, 60 to 50.4. For the Golden State Warriors, second chance points is both of these are about even on how that shakes out. Your leading players, of course, you want to look for. Jay Huff has been our block leader. Draymond Green has been blocking a lot for the Golden State Warriors. We're going to go back the other way than we usually do. And assists, of course, Stephen Curry, 6.6 assists. And Scottie Pippen Jr. is leading the Grizzlies right now with Ja Morant out. Kevon Looney with 8.5 and Santi Aldama with your 7.6 in rebounds. We still got to get Santi getting more rebounds or somebody getting some more rebounds if we really want to keep winning games. But beyond that, your points leaders going into Friday night's matchup is Jaren Jackson Jr. for the Grizz with 22.5 and Stephen Curry with 23.9. You know these leading players. With all bets are, I have seen nothing saying that Ja would be back soon. Let me look at this injury report. I did pull up the current injury report. Now this is as of Thursday the 14th, so we don't know anything with what they're going to actually say today, Friday, when you're probably listening to this. But I'm a little behind when I got to record this so I can get it out to you. Vince Williams Jr. is still out. It says Brandon Clark day-to-day. It says he's questionable for Friday's game against the Warriors. I'd love to see him back, but it says a toe injury. I didn't look into how bad that was. I'm not expecting him to play a whole lot, but it's possible. Desmond Bane does still show out, and there's nothing changed about Ja Morant's status. It does say week to week with a hip injury, but no timetable for his return is what's listed, at least according to ESPN.com. I don't want to break down a whole lot of what can happen going into this. It is a NBA Emirates Cup game or whatever. The Golden State Warriors have been playing really good basketball. Some of their rookies are really stepping up, and they've still got a solid system that's a hard system to play against and a hard place to come in and try to get a win out of them, especially. So it will be tough, especially without Bane and without Ja Morant. But I do want to talk about a really big bright spot, of course, in the Grizzlies, that we've got two people on the Grizzlies that are sitting really high up on the Rookie of the Year, ROTY, radars right now. Not only are people looking at Zach Edey as a potential Rookie of the Year candidate, but Jalen Wells keeps kind of cracking into the top 3 as well. So shouts to Jay Wells. He has really been holding it down. He had a tough assignment against the Lakers, guarding LeBron James. And LeBron definitely had, another triple-double in that game. But I don't think that's something you can blame on Jalen by any means. I do think that is something that it's just LeBron James. I mean, we know how that works and how it goes when it comes to what he can do to a basketball game. I think he was also a little extra motivated after Ja talked mess after the Grizzlies beat him here in Memphis. Let's talk about the Dallas-Utah game really, really quick. I did watch that, and I put off putting this podcast together so that I could at least get you the score from that one game going into Friday. I thought Dallas was about to run away with it for a second, and then Utah really took over. I didn't take any notes and remember exactly. I do know that Luka did really well. He played 38 minutes, got 37 points. Overall 7 rebounds, 9 assists, so he was only a couple of rebounds and 1 assist away from a triple-double. He did get 1 steal, only 3 turnovers, so that was solid on his part. One of the best players for them tonight was Derek Lively, 4 blocks, 1 steal, didn't shoot amazingly, but Derek Lively was getting it going. Klay Thompson, 17 points. He's still producing and doing well in the system so far. They were not able to get it done down the line. I am very impressed with Markkanen on the Jazz. Watching them, they've got a solid team when they're playing well and when they're clicking. I'm kind of surprised that Utah did beat Dallas tonight. Just on overall, you would kind of just think Dallas has the advantage in that one. the way Utah's been playing. But the fun thing about the NBA is, depending upon who's having a good night and who really wants it that night, the chips could fall in different ways than you would expect. Definitely my people out there wagering money and that kind of stuff know that no matter what the numbers look like, things can happen different than what you planned on. So it doesn't always mean who you think is going to win is going to win. You got to come out there and actually do it and play the game and power through it. So I'm not going to dig too deep into the Dallas-Utah game. It's just a regular season game. It was the only big game of tonight, so I thought I would cover it. Let's look at Friday and the Emirates Cup. I am not going to stress you out and show you each and every single one of these. There is a lot of different games. Most of them are starting at 6 o'clock Central. I'll just go down them very quickly. Miami Heat versus Indiana Pacers. Philadelphia 76ers versus the Orlando Magic. Detroit Pistons versus the Toronto Raptors. Washington Wizards will be playing the Hawks. Chicago Bulls will be playing the super hot Cleveland Cavaliers lately. Brooklyn Nets are going to be facing the Knicks. That's an interesting battle for New York coming at you. Los Angeles Lakers versus the Spurs. That will be a good matchup. Moving into 7 o'clock Central Time, LA Clippers versus Houston Rockets, Denver Nuggets versus New Orleans Pelicans, Phoenix Suns versus Oklahoma City Thunder, and then into the 9 o'clock hour, you're going to have the Memphis Grizzlies versus the Golden State Warriors late night game, along with Minnesota Timberwolves taking on the Sacramento Kings. There will be more Emirates NBA Cup games coming on Tuesday. There will be a whole nother slate of those, and then again Friday, November 22nd. So we'll talk about those as we get closer to these. These are basically all playing towards a tournament that is playing out in another couple of weeks. Whoever wins these games on Tuesdays and Fridays will eventually make it into the next round, as I've explained in the other podcasts. I understand it, but without it standing in front of me, I don't want to say it wrong. So that's what you've got to look forward to Friday night. There's going to be a whole lot of teams playing. Almost everybody. I didn't count them all to see or if there's anybody off. Maybe some of the teams that played tonight probably already played on Tuesday, so they're a little ahead. But it's an attempt to keep the game interesting and to keep things kind of fresh and new. I really don't want to talk bad about the courts. I think the courts are a little bit nauseating or something. It's harder for me to watch it, to be honest. I think it's cool, the technology is cool, but it's like it's too much, or it's too. I don't want to be a hater. I'd really like to speak love into the world, so it's not my cup of tea.
What do you mean by that?
Let me just say it that way. I'll just leave it as a older white guy and say it's not my cup of tea. But I'm not hating, y'all. I'm not hating. Hater. I'm just kidding. I gotta get to this point where I look over things and I start to realize how much and what else is there to cover. We're definitely over the 10-minute mark, and I don't want to waste your whole night talking about basketball without a whole lot of action in the background. I do want to let you know I would put basketball all the time going on behind me, but to get these podcasts onto as many different networks, I don't want to run into using copyrighted material that we do not have the permission to use. As we move forward, I want to do more videos and things that will be here on YouTube that will have more footage going on in the background. We'll cover more stories, and if y'all follow us on the other social medias, there is more footage and stuff we've got that we like to put highlights with it. But when I'm doing these Grizzlies podcasts, I don't want to get us blocked. I don't want to get us restricted, or as I just start getting this podcast going, I may be able to bring some of it back if I don't run into problems. YouTube apparently is okay with it. It comes up that there is content in my video, but it's allowable by the owner. So I'm thinking the NBA allows it as long as it's done correctly and you're not just straight ripping their material off and putting it back up to take away. Because that's what copyright is supposed to be. It's not supposed to stop you from being able to talk about things, to share it, and to show how it works, and to break it down. You should be able to use other people's footage to share and talk about things. It's only when you are basically bootlegging or stealing profits from the company when you are confusing people and taking their intellectual property or the media that they create and try to make money off of it without them. That's what copyright is meant to that's what copyright is meant to do. Sorry to get on a soapbox there. That's part of what I went to media and music school for, but I think it's crazy the world we're living in that we can't even just have a show you what I'm talking about. I will say that it is a lot of trouble to get footage for every little clip that I'm talking about. I wish I could, but again, like I said in one of the earlier podcasts, this is a one-man team right now. I wish I could exactly explain some of the gears that are grinding in the background with this. This is still a new podcast, and it's kind of been based off of the high def sports and the high def hoops idea. But there is talk about bigger stuff with Sports Idiot Nation and maybe kind of branding into another Idiot Nation that's more focused on basketball. But as that comes together, I will share that information with you. I just want to kind of keep you in the loop that there's more than just me in the grand scheme of this thing. But right now, this is just me putting these together, and it's not hard. I can do it, but it takes time. I've got 2 little boys, and I just try to get to it when I can. Like I said, I'm really glad to be doing them. I was sick. I was so sick for like a week, almost 2 straight weeks of just not being able to do food and regular life at all, not even watching basketball. So I'm glad to be back in the land of the living. I got my basketball goal back up outside. I had a good basketball practice with my little 2-3 team today. That's second, third grade. I mean, my 2-3 boys basketball team. I'm glad to be back in the land of the living and celebrating with y'all. So thank y'all for being a part of this podcast. Thank you for hopefully, getting something out of it or enjoying it. Maybe you just want to hear somebody talk as you fall asleep, and that's cool too. I'll try to keep it nice and chill so you got that opportunity. I will say this. I said it at the beginning. There is a new sponsor to this, Tennessee Drone Company. We'll be dropping more information about them as it comes along, but they are going to probably be the main sponsor going into the near future. Tennessee Drone Company. It is very much connected to the same high-def creative that has started this podcast and is part of what's powering the media behind this podcast. So the sky is not the limits when you are working with Tennessee Drone Company. So stay tuned for that. Tennessee Drone Company is coming as a great sponsor. Also, if you would like to get yourself sponsored in a prime spot right at the beginning, we will talk more about you than I do the sponsor as it is now. Let us know. Reach out to us. It's a lot bigger than just this podcast. We've got a Sports Idiot Nation podcast that would love to have your name attached to it. And we've got multiple other pages across many different networks that can get you in front of people's faces in ways that they don't know it's coming, and bam, now they know your company whether they wanted to or not. So that's what we can offer you. Just reach out, let us know. I'm not gonna blow a bunch of smoke that way. I'm just wanting to make sure that I mention the possibilities out there, because I know as a business owner it's hard to get these, and we're not a huge company, so you're not looking at the type of money you would need to have radio campaigns. We can do some amazing stuff and get a lot of people listening, hearing your name without mega bucks. And we're also human beings, so y'all want to barter and trade, and maybe we can work together. We're open to that kind of stuff too. So seriously, if you're not in tune to the Sports Idiot Nation, check it out. We've got Sports Idiot Nation, Wrestling Idiot Nation, Racing Idiot Nation, Turtles Idiot Nation. Of course, there's the Titans Idiot Nation that helped start it all. If you're interested in any of those, just hit the googly's and they'll pop up. There is going to be more Idiot Nations, so be very afraid. If you hear us say sinners, that's Sports Idiot Nation. We're coming at you from a lot of different directions. So it's kind of a surprise that some of these pages are growing as well as they are. That's why I talk about there's the potential of something hoops coming along down the road that works with the same network. But anyway, thank you for being here. If you're still watching by chance, listening wherever you are, I love you. You're amazing. If nobody told you today, I hope you just heard me. I'll say it again. You're amazing. I love you. This world is crazy, and it is moving really fast. But keep up with yourself and take care of yourself out there. I always try to end these on a positive note, and I didn't really put anything together. So, what I'm going to say is never give up on yourself. And if you want one idea of a way to get better or to continue to get better, is to try every day to put a goal of bettering yourself in some way, whether it be a regular exercise goal, or whether it be a regular brain teaser routine, or reading every night before you go to bed. It can be simple, it can be big. It can be taking a walk after dinner to get your farts out. Take care of yourselves. Try to find something that you can shoot to do every single day and to try to live up to it, because you are the first person that you've got to make sure you can trust. And if you make a deal with yourself, I'm not always the best at keeping them, but I'm getting better and I'm trying to. So push. That was the main thing I was going to say, is that, you know, we got to work. We got to put in the work if we want to get the results. So don't be afraid, even if it's just a couple of minutes or a beginning with a small goal. Start small and build bigger. You are capable of amazing things, and I believe in you. And I know that you can do some really cool things. I can't wait to see it. So thank you for staying this long. Probably talking to myself at this point, but either way, it's been fun. This is High Def Hoops. I am Memphis J. Y'all have a good one. Go Grizz. Let's have some good games. I hope all the players have a good, safe Friday night. And wherever you are, I hope you're well. I hope your family's well. And I wish for peace to you and everybody around. All right? Thanks for checking it out. Take it easy.